Hey guys, we're working on Algebra 1 trail marker number 3. This is 12 questions. There will only be 10 on the trail marker, but I wanted to show you multiple different types of options that could come up in terms of the system on the second page. It could be elimination or substitution. On the first two questions right here, it could be addition or subtraction. So let's take a look. First thing I notice is that the operation is addition. So all we're doing is combining like terms. Start with the highest degree, so the x squareds. If you need to underline to help you remember which ones are like terms, please do so. So negative 5x squared plus 2x squared is negative 3x squared. Then go to the next highest degree, which is the x's. Okay, we only have a negative 3x, so I'll just write that down. And then the constants, negative 1 plus 4, which makes it plus 3. Okay, perform the operation, write in standard form. So it's subtraction, so we have to distribute the negative first, and then we can turn it into addition. So I'm going to rewrite that whole first term, because I didn't distribute the negative to it, and then get a negative 3x, positive 5x squared, because a negative times a negative is a positive, and then negative times a positive 8 is a negative 8. Now I'm just going to combine my like terms. Find my x squareds. Negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4x squared, and then my x's, negative 3x again, and then my positive 2 minus 8, which is negative 6. Okay, perform the operation. Notice how there's no addition or subtraction between, so it's got to be multiplication. So I like to use double distribute. If you like the box, you can also set it up with the 4 boxes, but I'm going to double distribute. Negative 2x squared times 3x is a negative 6 because the coefficients, and then x squared times x gives you x to the third. Then negative 2x squared times negative 7, which is a positive 14x squared. Now we're going to distribute the x. X times 3x is a 3x squared, and then x times negative 7 is a negative 7x. Find all your like terms, which are these middle two terms, and combine them. Negative 6x cubed plus 17x squared minus 7x. Question 4, graph the equation. Remember, we need y equals mx plus b, so I need to get the y by itself. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides because it's already being subtracted. So I get 2y equals 4x plus 8. And then I need y by itself, so I need to divide each term by 2. Y equals 2x plus 4. Remember, we start with our y-intercept at positive 4, and then this is our slope. If you want to write it as a fraction, you can. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and then graph the line, and you're all set. Question 5. Okay, I like to distribute this 1/2 because it's outside the parentheses. So 1/2 of negative 6 is negative 3x. 1/2 of 8 is positive 4. And then I can just solve my equation. Get my variables to one side, my constants to the other. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides because I like to get rid of the negative sign. So I'm left with 4 equals 8x minus 20. Now I'm going to add 20 to both sides because I need to move the constants to the other side. So I get 24 equals 8x. And then to undo multiplication, we divide by 8, so I get x equals 3. Okay, simplify. We are not solving, we're simplifying. So all we're doing is exactly what we did in question number 1, combining your like terms. Okay, so find your highest degree, which is the x squareds. Negative 2x squared plus 5x squared is 3x squared. Then go to your x's. We have an x and a negative 3x, which makes it negative 2x. And then 4 minus 6 is negative 2. And you're all done. Take a look at 7, function notation. F of x equals negative 11. Okay, so we don't know x, we have to solve for it, but we do know that it's equal to negative 11. So I'm going to replace this f of x with negative 11. Okay, so I get negative 11 equals negative 4x plus 1. And notice how when we set up the equation like this, we have x we need to solve for x. That's exactly what the question is, find x. So subtract 1 from both sides, I get negative 12 equals negative 4x. Divide by negative 4 to both sides, and x equals positive 3. If you want to take it one more step further with the correct notation, the input is 3 and we get out this 11 that we started with, or negative 11. That's function notation. Okay, number 8. Given this is the function, we need to find f of negative 2. So this x value is negative 2, the input. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug negative 2 into this function wherever I see an x. Okay, order of operations says exponent goes first. Remember, the left side is just notation. So I'm going to keep that 3. Negative 2 squared is a positive 4. And now I can multiply. I get 12 plus 5. And then combine your like terms and we get 17. I am not dividing by f. I am not dividing by negative 2. This whole left side of the equation is just notation. It's saying that I'm plugging in negative 2 into function f and I get out 17. Okay, question 9, solve the system. Well, first thing I notice right here is that y is by itself, so I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to take this negative 5x minus 17 and plug it in for y. So I get negative 3x minus 3, and then I'm going to replace that y with negative 5x minus 17, and then continue the equation. Distribute the negative 3. The negative has to go with it. Okay, so negative 3 times negative 5 is a positive 15x. Negative 3 times negative 17 is a positive 51 equals negative 3. Combine your like terms here. We get 12x. And then I'm going to subtract 51 from both sides, and I get a negative 54. Okay, divide both sides by 12. Divide both sides by 12. Sorry, that's my mistake up at the beginning. This is a positive 3. I thought that was a negative by accident. So then we get negative 48 divided by 12, and x equals negative 4. Okay, remember we need a y value too, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to plug it in to that second equation. Y equals negative 5 times negative 4 minus 17. So y equals a positive 20 minus 17. Y equals 3. So my coordinate is negative 4, comma 3. Number 10, solve the system. Now notice how the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, and the constants are lined up, so we can use elimination. Negative 4x plus 4x is 0. Negative 2y plus 8y is 6y. Negative 12 minus 24, so I'm going further negative 24 units, gives me negative 36. Divide both sides by 6, and I get y equals negative 6. Remember, I need an x value, so I have to plug this back in. Doesn't really matter which equation you use, let's just use the top one. Negative 4x minus 2 times negative 6 equals negative 12. So I need to solve for x, so I get positive 12 here equals negative 12. Subtract 12 from both sides, I get negative 4x equals negative 24. Divide by negative 4, and x equals positive 6, but I need my coordinate, which is 6, negative 6. Okay, 2 more questions. Solve the quadratic equation 2x squared equals 50. Just like a linear equation, I want to get x by itself. Okay, so I'm going to divide by 2, so I get x squared equals 25. Remember, to undo a square, we can take a square root of both sides. But here's the tricky part. There are 2 solutions. This degree says 2, so there are 2 solutions that could multiply to give me 25. It could be a positive 5, 5 times 5 is 25, or it could be negative 5, because remember, a negative 5 times a negative 5, the negative simplified to positive, and we still get that 25. So 2 solutions here. The last one, write the equation of line that passes through this, 9, 1 and 6, 2. Well, remember the formula is y minus y for the slope formula. So 2 minus 1, and then divided by x minus x, 6 minus 9. So m equals 1 over negative 3. So my slope is negative 1/3. Now I'm going to take one of the equations, one of the coordinates, and plug it in, given this slope and one of the coordinates. Let's use this coordinate. So the y value is 1. The slope we just found is negative 1/3. And the x value is 9 plus b. Okay, so think about this. What is 1/3 of 9? Well, it's 3, and remember the negative times a positive makes it negative, so it's a negative 3 plus b. Add 3 to both sides because I need to get b by itself, and I get 4 equals b. So now you have to write the equation with the slope of negative 1/3 and the y-intercept of 4. There you go, guys.